I'm painting the Africa of my imagination. I'm painting what I imagine the struggle for life to be like. And what I'll do is I have gone up and down the East Coast, sometimes with my brothers, from Florida to Philadelphia, and I will take photographs of animals. I have gotten in cages with nearly everything that I've painted. Some of them very dangerous, some of them not so dangerous. And that experience, having them walk up to me, touching their fur, seeing them up close, having them growl in my presence, or just kind of threaten, it's frightening and it's exhilarating, and it does something for my paintings that I imagine going to Africa would do, but I haven't yet that experience. So no, I haven't gone to East Africa with the animals and with the Masai Mara or the Ngorongoro Crater, the places I want to go. But I almost feel like it's more of it's almost better for my art, because it's a truer sense of who I am, because I've not gone there to see these things. So I have to use the limited resources I have to get the images across. I have to use, sometimes I have reference photos that are not clear, they're hazy, and so I have to use what I imagine the continent of Africa to be like, and so I have to. I feel like my art is truer sometimes than it probably would be if I actually got to see. And I say that because I think if I go to Africa and I get to take actual reference photos, it may color what my imagination used to be. Maybe for the better, it could be for the worse, I'm not sure. I'm willing to go because I desperately want that. Just because I want the literal experience of Africa. I began drawing, I want to say about 6 years old. My mother made a huge deal about my first drawing, and that encouraged me to continue. My first drawings were of Warner Brother cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Tweety Bird, and the cartoons of the Saturday morning cartoons. And I got those because my mother would buy me coloring books. And I would color in them and color in them pretty fast. And so instead of asking her to buy me more, I began to trace the drawings in the coloring book to recolor them. And I just one day decided to just draw it without tracing it, see if I could do it. And when I showed her, she made a really huge deal about how well I had done, and I just felt encouraged to continue. And so I've drawn every day since I was 6. Even I've been in the hospital for knee surgeries for sports, and one of the requirements I always have is I need a sketch pad. I'll just draw while I'm healing, or I draw when I'm on the telephone. When I sleep at night, I have dreams about drawing and painting, and it's an ever-present part of my daily life. I can't think that I don't have moments where I'm not thinking of my next painting, or I'm not thinking of, if I'm in the middle of a painting and I'm struggling, I'm constantly trying to figure out how am I going to solve the problem of the sky or the rocks or the animals or whatever I might be engaged in. So it's something I carry around with me all day, every day. I like that kind of razor's edge to Africa. That's probably why I like Africa more than any other kind of subject matter, because there's that. If I'm a person in the Masai Mara, I can get up and have a peaceful day with my herd of animals, or I can be confronted by lions or hyenas and have to defend myself. And there's that kind of, even though it seems peaceful to me, there's a dichotomy with the animals and the people. The people of Africa, to me, seem to have a kind of silent pride about them. They have a dignity. They live amongst animals that, can take their lives. But they seem to have a dignity that a lot of other people who have a lot more don't have. They seem to have, they seem to be at peace with themselves. They seem to be at peace with the way they live and what they have. And when I paint them, I choose images that will convey that they are people that, are dignified. They're very colorful people. The Maasai people are very colorful, but nearly everything they wear has some red in it. It's very colorful people. And the same for the Samburu people. Very colorful beads, very colorful clothes, and just their customs. I just enjoy learning about them. I just enjoy reading about them and drawing them and trying to convey that kind of quiet dignity that they seem to have when it comes to, doing art. It's just a challenge to get that across. I don't paint as many American subject matters as maybe I should because I'm here. Right. But because I see them, I feel less passionate about them. I mean, I have reverence for them, the same amount of reverence I have for things that are in Africa, but because the things of Africa are the things of my imagination and of my dreams, I can literally go down to one of the docks in Mount Pleasant and see a great blue heron or a great egret or some of the animals that we have here, so I paint them a little less often. As far as painting Bob Marley, I just happen to really respect the message he has in his music. It's one of, African unity, Jamaican unity, black people unity. It's one of love and peace and togetherness. He was also fearless about singing against, the misuse of government. When he sang, he had a kind of passion in his face and his dancing and the message that he tried to convey. And so when I try and paint him, I try to capture all of that he was about on one sheet of watercolor paper. It's not easy, but I try desperately to show that I have a lot of respect for what he had to say, even though his life was short. What I read about him, he even sang up until he was just too ill to do so, and he knew that he was ill, and was asked to stop to take care of his health, and he told his wife, his family, and his band members that I have a message to say, and even though my journey is at an end, I'm going to continue until I can't anymore. And I don't know how you cannot respect that. I want to say that I've finally realized that art was an essential part of me, probably when I had my first watercolor class, when my classmates, instead of spending time listening to the instructor, they would haggle over who was going to buy my latest classwork, my latest painting. And then I realized that there was value in recreating the things in my imagination or the things in nature, that people will be interested in buying them. And then not because of the exchange of money did I feel like an artist. I just felt like now there's people besides myself willing and able to enjoy what I do. I have donated several paintings. There is a place in North Carolina called, I think it's called the Wildlife Preservation Trust. They take in animals that used to be in circuses or zoos that are either too dangerous or too old to be of any use to those particular organizations. And so I will go there and take pictures of those animals, and then I'll donate a painting for them to auction off for the care of those animals. Because it is important to kind of give back. I mean, it's almost like stealing if you're just going to use the images of Africa and not give anything back. I can't think of anything that, as far as my personal worth, being a husband and being an artist are, synonymous for me personally. And conveying, those things, those people that I'm passionate about in an accurate, respectful way, it's been very, very important for me.